Hello everyone, my name is Ramon. I am from Excel MBI. I help people and business to do more with their data. So each of these webinars that run every second Friday in New Zealand at least, or every second Thursday in US and other places, we'll be covering data concepts. We'll be discussing different kind of topics important for people working with data, but doesn't matter if you're a data specialist. And as long as you have the intention to learn more about data, this will be useful for you. So the presentation will run for 20 minutes. And if you are connecting to this live session, you will have the chance to ask your question at the end of the session. So thank you very much for connecting online. And for the ones who are watching this video afterwards, thank you as well. And if you have any question, feel free to send me an email to contact@excelmbi.com. I will leave it at the end, so you will also be able to see the email for your questions. So I will start into sharing you my screen. As I mentioned before, the presentation today is to how to build profitable data pipelines. And this is something that it could sound a bit catchy, but the reason why I say how to build profitable data pipelines is because sometimes we lose the focus on what is important in the business. And this is what I like to keep clear here, that no matter how much data we create, the intention is to help the business. So if we focus on that, we'll create great achievement, because pretty much the work that we do for the company is costing them zero or nothing, or actually we're creating profit for the business. So we are not just a business unit that it create things and build things for the company. We actually generate money for the company. This is something important for us to keep in mind, especially if we work as a contractors or external resources, that we keep in mind that all the efforts that we provide for the company, it needs to end up in results. Okay. My name is Ramon. I am originally from Chile, and I am the hosting from these webinars. I founded Excel MBI 2 years ago with the intention to provide courses, training, and consultancy for business. Lastly, I've been focusing on small business, and this is what I enjoy the most, because small and medium, of course, because the results are more tangible. However, that doesn't stop me to do consultancy and strategy for data for bigger organizations. So if you have any of those requirements, feel free to reach out. And also I do courses and one-on-one coach sessions. And if you would like to attend one of those other events, just feel free to go to excelmbi.com/events, and there is always something coming up. So if you want to attend any future events, I put the name on it. And also if you would like to have any special requirement for any specific topic, just let me know and I can add in the pipeline for the future events. So let's jump into the matter. So the reason why I call it profitable data pipeline is what it is. In summary, it's a process that helps the business to make more money. So how we can create a process that it will work with data that can help the business to create more money. And this is what we'll be discussing today. How we can achieve this with data. All right. The reason is I've been working in data for many years, and I've seen that we need data to create different stuff, different reports, different dashboards, different visualization. But sometimes we don't stop to think what is the impact on the business. For example, I can spend the whole year to building a Power BI dashboard, or I can spend a whole year to create Excel sheets to create audits and validation. However, without knowing the outcome, it's quite hard to see how much is costing this effort to the company. And this is what I would like to discuss here today. And I prepared this example to put you in some context. For example, you work in a supermarket chain, and then you are the responsible to check how many daily products you need to buy next month. The exercise that you do, you go every month or every week to the CRM or the ERP, and then you download all the information related to how many daily products we sold last month, okay? And then you realize that, for example, cheeses, the packet from 1 kg, you sold 200,000 or you have sold 100,000. And based on that, you say like, we're low in stock, we need to order more units. And so you do this repeatedly. So every week you go to the ERP system and you download all the information from how much cheese we have in stock and how much we need to buy. That constantly process makes you to work in a reactive way. So as soon as you see the milk stock going low, you go and buy more. And so you only follow how much how many units you should have in stock. You don't do any kind of analysis. You do this task repeatedly, but just the exercise for you to download the Excel file that is useful for you to do the analysis. It takes you time, and every day, for example, you go there, you try to download the file, and then you grab a coffee with a colleague, and then you spend some time there, and then you back, and then you try to download the file again. I don't know if it happened that to you before, but it's something common that we want to achieve one small goal, but ended up to take more time because things happen. I get a call from my mom, and then I got distracted again, so I couldn't download the file now. And we ended up with this midday, and now just being able to export the data, and then I will be able to do the analysis. So in the evening, I do the orders, and yeah, I need to buy 100 meals for next week. That's the only thing that I do. This process is a manual process. It takes you time, and at the end of the day, of course, it can create some errors and mistakes, because all the exercises that you do in Excel, because it's a manual process, something can make failures. But I want to show you when this game change, okay? And how a data pipeline work can help you on this. And I want to show you this diagram, and don't get scared if you never seen those logos before. The process for you to download this information and put it in a spreadsheet or in a Power BI is taking you time. And all this concept of Python or SQL and putting in a data warehouse, which is a house to store the data, it can help you to analyze better. So this is the game changer, and this is what I will be explaining you today how it works. The things that I want to differentiate as well, that what is Excel and what is not Excel, all right? The reason why is because the reason why I want to explain you that is because Excel is a great tool for analysis, okay? But it's not a tool to pull data automatically from different sources, even though that Excel helps, nowadays have like a databases connectors. It's not designed to be a database, okay? So normally we use Excel to analyze, to compare, to see patterns. Excel is a great tool for that, and it does the work really well. However, what is not Excel is a tool to create data pipelines. It's not a tool to pull data from different sources automatically, because I don't know if you have a big and chunky spreadsheet that something can weigh up to 50 megabytes. So let's say if you have a spreadsheet that you building up within the years. I have seen a spreadsheet that's been lasting in the company for, I don't know, 5 years. And every time that you do a new addition of more data, you create a copy, you put the end of the date at the end of the name of the spreadsheet, but that spreadsheet is becoming heavier and heavier and heavier. And that is a big problem. And so that is when the spreadsheet starts to break. So to avoid that, a data pipeline also can help you, okay? And what is a data pipeline then? So a data pipeline is something that it helps you to pull the data from different sources, organize it, and put it in a warehouse, which is called a data warehouse. But just think about this like a storage on one source of truth. For example, with the supermarket example, I told you that you go to the ERP system and you download every day or every week the information of the stock, okay? In a data pipeline, the thing that you can do, this process run every night. So when you get in the morning, the data is available for you in the data warehouse. So every morning you can go there and check the historical data from the stock and the patterns. Just check the historical data and the stock for the last 5 years. So you could see it specifically, for example, in July, we used to sold around 50 to 40 boxes of milk. And in June, however, that demand decreased. So having all this historical data and not just a single snapshot as we download from our system, it will allow us to see more things. And that is how a data pipeline can help you. Pull the data, transform it, and store it in a safe place for you for review. And now the question is from where to start. Okay, so as you can think that this can sound overwhelming and super technical. However, nowadays there are a lot of tools that can help you to do this much easier. I will show you some of these tools. But if you still work in a company that requires some technical skills, I will show you which one is the ones that you need. Okay. From where we start. Firstly, you need to understand the size of your company, because it's not the same when you make a data pipeline for a small company like my one, which is have few people working in that company. So I pull the data with APIs and transform it. Of course, I have technical knowledge. I do certain things that they make more smoothly. However, if you have a company of 1,000 employees, you need to be careful on the process, because, for example, if the company is too big and too many people start to rely on this data pipeline, you need to put more security in place, more checks, and everyone will be relying on the data will be available in the morning. So this is really important. If you just use this data and the process fails during the night, you can just rerun it and not a big problem. However, when you work in a bigger organization, you will find that because this data didn't work, it affects 100 people. So this is really important to understand what is the size of your company depending on the solution that you will take. The other thing that I recommend to do to everyone is to understand what is the environment that you have. For example, when I say Microsoft or Google, is for example, all your emails are based on Gmail and are in the Google environment. That means that probably a solution in the Google Cloud will be more efficient and more cost effective. However, if you have all the environment in Microsoft, which means all the emails are in Outlook and you're using SharePoint and all the environment in Microsoft, probably a solution in Azure or Fabrics could be more cost effective for you. That is the importance to understand which environment has your company. If your company doesn't have any of those, it's also AWS and other solution for you. The other thing important to understand is what is the current ERP. Okay, ERP are systems built for companies to manage all the invoicing system, hours, and nowadays the ERP getting more merged with CRM, which are customer relationship managers. CRMs and ERP used to be totally isolated in the past, but nowadays are super overlapped. And CRMs normally manage the amount of calls that you do for customers and the amount of emails that you send to customers, quotes, and that sort of stuff. And ERPs manage more probably the stock, the warehouse facilities, the invoices, and that sort of stuff. So knowing the data from which system that you would like to integrate is crucial to succeed. So that is important to understand which system do you have. Then of course, if you have standard software or not. For example, if someone develop a solution to track the quotes in your organization, that it could be hard to integrate sometimes. And you need to get something really customized for this customer. If you are creating a company, I would totally recommend you to use standard softwares. There are standard software that start with as free versions if you are just 1 or 5 people. But at the time as you grow, of course, you will need to start to pay for licenses. But for example, tools like HubSpot, which is a free CRM if you are less than 5 users, it has AIP connections and integrations, so it's really easy to start from there. So pick up something that is a standard. And how to connect them into development. There are different solutions I just mentioned. There are Databricks, Fabrics, AWS, Google Cloud, Snowflake, just to name a few, but actually nowadays there are dozens of different great solutions. So Don't worry about if you don't understand those names. I just want you to have this clarity. What is the step that you need to process to start to build your data pipeline? Okay. All right. This is one of the frameworks that I use personally. And of course, I create a EVI because Excel in VI, and then I build this software. Every time that I build something new, I understand that it needs to be efficient. So having a data pipeline that runs for 8 hours is not efficient at all, because it can take so many resources from the company during the night. And even that in many cloud solutions, you pay for the process. So every hour, every minute that goes, you need to pay cents or dollars. So this is important that is efficient. The other thing that is really important for us when we create something is to follow this framework to see that this solution, it will be business centric. Anything that we produce, it will benefit the business somehow. All right. So probably it's not important to track how many hours the bus that I'm taking to the office is taking me, but it's really important to understand how much time I've been spending in working in coding, for example. So everything that we create needs to be business centric, and we need to provide value for the business. And the other thing is needs to be interoperable. And this is a concept for you to be able to speak this system with this other system, because you create a data pipeline today to fulfill your requirement. However, tomorrow a colleague asks you, can you also add this app into this and connect, instead of to just bring the stock from the data products, I would like to bring the stock from gardening products. So how you can make this data pipeline flexible enough to start to operate with this new product. So this is the kind of 3 words that is important for you to keep in mind when you develop anything in the business, especially related with data. I would like to just before to jump into the practical experience, the way how I keep growing with these webinars is with your feedback. So if you can please give us the feedback of how you've seen so far, if useful for you or not, let us know, and then you can scan this QR code and I will send you to the feedback page. Thank you very much for that. Before I jump into more technical part, I would like to make you think your questions, and I hope you understand so far what I'm trying to explain here with data pipelines. The skills that you need to build a data pipeline is to understand data extraction and connectivity, data transformation, Python, SQL, Power Query, and make databases and SQL, data modeling, automation, and data workflow thinking. However, there are tricks nowadays for jumping out from all those concepts, and I will show you this in a second. But there are certain systems that unfortunately that we are not able to use the tools that I will show you next. And the reason why I want to show you this is if you want to learn more about any of those skills, is something that I help people to do in this, learning those skills. But at the same time, probably you would like to focus only on this. And this is a unique skill that it can help you to find a job just within this skill, or just within this skill. So if you would like to work in just certain area, for example, the areas that I most enjoy is data modeling, and this is something where I spend more time. Data modeling is the concept that I take data from different places, or someone give me those data, and I start to work and play with this data as a Rubik cube to start to create a model that someone can understand. So I create a profitable model, I create a workforce management model, I create different models to be able to produce different results for the business. At the end, we want to get something like this. This is a representation of how a data pipeline looks like. So we're pulling data from different sources, we normalize it, and we save it in somewhere that everyone can access. Okay, so this is what we do. We pull data from different sources, and then we ended up with a unique source of truth. For the supermarket example, this could mean the stock of the warehouse, the latest purchase that we did in the last few months, and so on and so forth. And this is that I don't want you to get scared, but for example, if you have CRMs and you have a CSV files, then you use different tools to move here to the bottom and to get to something like Power BI or Excel for prepare a dashboard or a report. Of course, ChatGPT and other AI tools can help you a lot, but this is the technical part that if you are not really familiar with this, there are solutions like SynHub, which is one of our partners. If you want to get more information, just let me know. The thing that those guys do, they have dozens of connectors. For example, you have HubSpot. They do all the data transformation for you, and they're ready for us to work in Power BI. If you technical part, or if you want to spend more time in Excel on Power BI, those guys do all the dirty job for us. And actually, I work with them to pull data from different people and then store it in Power BI. And so I rather to focus in all those areas, I focus in what I am the best, which is data modeling, and so I spend more time on here. This doesn't mean that it's something that it will suit everyone, but of course, as I just mentioned before, if you don't have a standard software, probably the connector won't exist, but it's a good option. And also there are other competitors also from SynHub. You can also look for them in the internet, but this is the one that I've been using and it's working good so far. As I mentioned before, I provide Power BI support, one-on-one classes, courses in Python, SQL, and Power BI. If you want to get more information on any of this, just reply back on the email that I will send after this webinar, okay? And we have courses as well. You can go to excelinbi.com and look for courses, and you will find valuable resources for you. Most of them there for free. Also, there are webinars, and I have a podcast as well. If you want to listen to the free podcast, it's in Spotify or YouTube. Just go to YouTube or Spotify and type Data Over Coffee, and then you will find more information of this data world. All right. The thing that we're trying to do, we are pulling data from one source, we are transforming it, and we will be passing it into a curated layer. A curated layer means it's something ready and easy for use. Because when we download everything from the background of the applications, sometimes we see data not really well organized. And the way how we can organize is through different transformation and then putting a database for us easy to use in Excel. Personally, as a data specialist, I still using a lot of Excel. It's a great tool for me to see patterns and insights. So if you want to stay in Excel, it's totally fine, and probably you will keep having a lot of work for the next few years. So Excel been in the market for so long, and it's something that is not planning to go by the look of it. Of course, on top you can add the scale of like Power BI and those kind of tools that will help you to make the things much easier. Before to close up, because I don't want to close up yet, I want to show you the example. Okay, this is how it looks like Python code. Okay. I want to make this much bigger. I will show you this, but in Python, we can put comments and we can say, read the raw CSV file, which is a kind of Excel file, and then show me what is inside, and then do different transformation, okay? Don't worry about this code, because nowadays, you know that rocket science is no longer rocket science, because thanks to AI chats, we can do a lot nowadays. So all this code can be done by AI. Of course, you need to understand what is the process that you need to follow. And this is the thing that I teach you in the classes that I do, is to understand what is the process that you need to follow to give the proper instructions to something like ChatGPT to help you to create code. You don't need to nowadays to understand every single syntax in code. The thing that you need to understand where you would like to get, where is your achievement, where is your goal. So then at the end, I just export the Excel file and then save it into my LAN location. Then I have, after all this transformation, the thing that I did, I pulled data and transform it and save it into my location. And this will help me to make the stock analysis for data products much easier. And you can do something similar. This is that one was Python. Normally finished with .py, and this is SQL. Okay, with SQL you can pull all this data as well, and do different transformation to end up with something similar and to connect with something like Power BI. Just want to show you as well something how it could look like in Power BI. For example, if we are tracking data products, and just to make it profitable that our data pipeline is to end up in something like this, okay? Because we show Excel nowadays, something in a spreadsheet, it's quite hard to see the value, but when you show something like this, it's much easier to see, okay, this is how the sales has been developing within the year, within the months, and here we can start to take some decisions. For example, we can see that in August, September, and October, we have more spike of sales. For example, August was the month that we most sell data products, and sorry, probably if we are getting closer to August, we could start to decide, actually we need to buy more data products. And this is the game changer, as I mentioned to you before, because with just seeing the snapshot of daily data, you won't be able to see what has been happening in the past. So that is the importance of to get data probably more curated in this way, because it can help you heaps. But without a proper data pipeline, you can build still Power BIs. But the problem is, like, every day that you need to download the file, make some correlation, and it will be a snapshot from today. However, if you build a proper data pipeline, Power BI can connect directly to your data warehouse, from where is the place from where you save your data. And then this can be refreshed every day automatically, and you don't need to touch anything. You just take decision instead of to have a lot of work there. So I hope that you enjoy this webinar. I understand that sometimes technical concept can be overwhelmed. I don't want you to show you to be overwhelmed. I just want to show you that data can be simple, but there are tools that can help you. I just mentioned to you, SynHub is something that can help you. If you want to get more information, we'll send you the links at the end of the session. So if you're not planning to be a technical person learning Python and SQL, it's totally fine. But if you are one person that it would like to get, for example, marketing, campaign outcomes, and that sort of stuff, and analyze that in Excel properly, probably a data pipeline could still be useful for you. Just want to say thank you, and I appreciate your time being in this webinar. Thank you so much to have listened to this webinar. I hope that you enjoyed, and also you learned something new today. This is what I'm doing, those webinars. I just want to appreciate your time, and also extend you an invitation. If you would like to attend any live event like those ones, just go to excelmba.com/events, and from there you will be able to sign up to future events. There's always something coming up, so you are more than welcome to join us in any of those events. Thank you so much. See you next time. This is Ramon. See you around. Bye.